Hello everyone, once again it is I, the Professor. I do realize it has been 3 months since I last uploaded a video, and I apologize for that. I have been overtly busy as of late with personal life and personal requirements and agendas, as it were. Now, what I'm going to cover today, I've mostly kept myself out of because I haven't really wanted to throw my hat into the ring. Because other people have done a fairly decent job of covering said subject material, be that people like the Internet Aristocrat, people like Meandering Matt, and other YouTubers and other individuals online. It's been covered vehemently, it's been covered very clearly, and up until this point I didn't feel like there was much that I could give to the situation. Now, just with that brief intro, you probably have a good idea of what I'm about to talk about, and it's the currently going and currently running GamerGate and the whole conspiracy and everything else that's been going on in the gaming industry and the gaming community. And as you all should know, I am a huge proponent of the gaming community. I am a gamer. I am a fan of video games. I game a lot. Play a lot of video games. Love them. But I'm going to take it in a little bit of a different route. I'm not going to really cover the Zoe Quinn issues or the Anita Sarkeesian issues or the Sarkeesian effect or any of that sort of information. What I'm going to look at is the double standards. I'm going to look at what the social justice warriors are doing and what they attempt to hold everyone else to, what pillars they attempt to hold everyone else to, and what line we are supposed to toe to be accepted, to be good people, to not be a misogynist, cis shit scumbags. Now, you have to remember, these are the same people who said on the Badass Digest that, and I'll quote this verbatim, but it's hard to self-identify as a gamer when there's also a large swath of that community apparently committed to presenting us all as a bunch of hateful sociopaths. It's like being a moderate Muslim in the middle of the continuing ISIS takeover and oppression of Iraq. A few weeks ago, I'd have said that that was an extreme analogy, but given the events of the past week, it's become clear that it's actually really fucking appropriate. Now, this is an article that I'm showing you right now that goes over the information that involves Zoe Quinn and the conspiracy and the whole Five Guys burgers and fries ordeal that's going on lately and related to Zoe Quinn. Now, with that one line, you can see that there's a certain level of hatred for anyone who's not part of this inner circle of social justice warriors. Anyone who dares to speak out against the social justice warriors, who ask questions. We have been labeled as people who aren't going at this from the idea of wanting a little bit of journalistic integrity. No. It's all because we're misogynists. We're all sexist. We all hate women. When that's not the point. That's not the fact. It's not us all hating women. If you go back and look at, say, the Internet Aristocrat, someone who's gotten a lot of flack for his videos about this as of late, has been labeled as someone who just did this because she's a woman, and that if it was a guy cheating on his girlfriend with 5 other people, they just high five, when he makes it very perfectly clear in his first video that he doesn't give a crap if she slept with 5 people. He didn't give a crap if she would have slept with 50 people while cheating on her boyfriend. He didn't care. It's the people that she was doing it with and what rewards and what benefits she got out of it, such as journalistic integrity being lost. That's the issues that he was raising in those videos. That's the issues he was taking up. And the people from Kotaku came back and said, no, we never made a review. They tried to make a response to him saying that, no, we never made a review of the Depression Quest game, when he never said that they gave her a favorable review. They made favorable articles about it. There is a huge definition, terminology difference here. He was talking about them making articles, and they did make articles. Go look yourself if you need to. Kotaku made a couple of different articles related to, or no, they made one article related to the Depression Quest, and the same writer made an article on Rock Paper Shotgun. Both of them were favorable interviews, and this was the guy she was sleeping with, this Nathan. Now, like I said, I don't want to go into too much detail about that because that's been covered to death and back. What I want to talk about is something that started not that long ago, a couple of days back, which is this hashtag, Istandwithjontron. Now, my opinion about JonTron as an internet reviewer has changed over the past couple of months and stuff. He's actually grown on me a little bit. I actually enjoy his reviews to an extent. I actually find him to be somewhat entertaining and enjoyable. I find him to be somewhat credible as an internet reviewer. I really do. But that's beside the point right here. What I want to show you right now is a couple of tweets that he put out onto Twitter. Obviously, with them being tweets. They are simply, and this is quoting verbatim, screenshots on the screen for you. I met Zoe Quinn back during Game Jam, and I can say she is nothing to start an internet controversy over, LOL. And also, no, that is not a compliment. Objectively, though, I can see the argument people have about keeping journalism free and open. Very valid complaints. Now, just look at this. Does anything that he said right here relate back into ableism or sexism or anything of the sort? No, there's nothing sexist or misogynistic about what he said. He just has the opinion that Zoe Quinn is not worth all the attention that she is getting on here. He doesn't have this personal opinion that she is worth focusing on. That's not misogynistic. That's not sexist. That's not anything of the sort. But, lo and behold, what happens? We get a new hashtag, Istandwithjontron. And I'm going to give a screenshot here, and I'm going to post things. I'm going to post a link to this entire screenshot I have right here that came from GamesNosh. This is a wall of tweets that are related to the hashtag IStandWithJonTron, such as I stand with JonTron, but immediately keel over with laughter that some folk are using this hashtag legitimately. He watches him proudly. Then also, I stand with JonTron because calling somebody a fat game nerd is apparently the worst thing on the planet, but systematic sexism is A-OK. I stand with JonTron because I have never witnessed a trash can learn to speak, and I'd like to see where it leads. I stand with JonTron because I love the fresh taste of sludge and slime in my mouth. I stand with JonTron because someone has to look out for this poor, straight male gamer's sad crying face. Oh. I stand with JonTron because I'm an edgy, smelly gamer. Those social justice warriors, my head is so far at my ass I can see what I ate this morning. And of course, I stand with JonTron because it's comforting to know I'll probably never make this big of an ass of myself. Go fuck yourself, sir. Now, look at this. This is a page of people attacking and bashing JonTron for his opinions on Zoe Quinn, for his differing opinions about social justice warriors and the social justice and political correctness routine of the gaming community right now and the mainstream media of gaming sites that now even includes IGN, which I was really saddened about because at first IGN was the one real stronghold who hasn't paid any attention to the social justice crap, but now they are. Now they're paying attention to it. Though I will have to say that them talking about this petition out there for gamers to be more open-minded, to be more civil, that the developers are signing this petition for people to be more civil and open-minded with each other, to not get so angry and offensive about everything, I agree with. That is not a bad idea. I perfectly agree that we should be more civil and open-minded and not get so pissed off with everything, much like this wall of tweets shows right here. Now, the fun thing is, if you look at these tweets, these are a lot of the same kind of tweets you would get from people who were talking about Anita Sarkeesian or Zoe Quinn or anyone else. But if these tweets were going to them immediately, it would be labeled as misogyny and sexism and bigotry and hatred and harassment. But when it's the social justice warriors coming after JonTron, it's not harassment, it's not hatred, it's not bigotry, it's fair game as far as they're concerned. This is fair game. JonTron has deserved it. He said something was retarded, and he was talking about the social justice routine being retarded, and he made a comment in a podcast talking about how he didn't agree with the way that they're trying to bring out social justice, that he says that they're doing it wrong, and he thinks that Anita Sarkeesian is portraying information in her videos incorrectly, and she's cherry-picking information out of games just to prove her narrative, even though she has some decent points every now and then. Oh no, that is so sexist and misogynist. She has good points, but she's not portraying it very well. She could do a better job. How dare he? He should just accept it the way it is, because Anita Sarkeesian is perfect. That she is the forefront. She's the fighter of the social justice warriors in the internet gaming community. That's exactly what he should be doing. If he would just back her, then he wouldn't be such a misogynist. He would prove that he is a companion. He is a comrade in the fight against misogyny and sexism and men in gaming industries. Oh my God, dear Lord, everyone, just what the hell is wrong with you? This is pathetic. This is the same kind of stuff that people like Anita Sarkeesian said, oh, I had to leave my house because they were harassing me. This is the same kind of stuff that they are getting. But no, what does JonTron do? He just says that he has nothing to prove to these people. He says this in response to Slow Beef from Retsupre, which it was really saddening to me to see Slow Beef going off on this like he did. But when JonTron came back to him and said that I have nothing to prove to these people. I'm not a sexist. I'm not a misogynist. I'm not a racist. I am a humanist. I respect people. I believe in equal rights for people. I don't believe men are more important than women, or women are more important than men, or men should have more than women, and vice versa, white versus black, fat or skinny, none of this stuff. He doesn't believe in any of that. He's made it very clear. And at this point, I do stand with JonTron, because I find it pathetic that the social justice warriors who complain and whine and fuss about the amount of harassment that they get, that, oh, you're just a bunch of mean, bully, jerk, white cis shits who are just can't accept us trying to change the status quo of gaming, that you're going to make fun of us on the internet and harass us, that they're doing the exact same thing that they complain about. It's pathetic. But JonTron is not the only person who's got hit by this vitriol. Let's look at TotalBiscuit, who made a post on Twitter saying if Zoe Quinn did engage in censorship via the abuse of the DMCA on YouTube, then I thoroughly condemn her actions as being both fucking stupid and unethical. If outlets did provide her favorable coverage because she had intimate relations with some of the writers, they are goddamn idiots for doing it. Why the hell would you compromise the trust of your readers for that? The shitstorm is too insane right now to make a huge amount of sense. And I have no idea what is true and what isn't. Cooler heads prevail. Heard of that phrase? Calm the fuck down and things might become clearer. And please, stop shouting at me. Thanks. This is a response back to when she took out Meandering Matt's video through a DMCA claim, which was originally referenced in Internet Aristocrat's first video, which is where he got his idea and he first became knowing of what was going on. But when she took it down for a DMCA claim, when there was no DMCA claim to make because there was nothing in there that was copyrighted material. But she did this, and this is the response TotalBiscuit gave because he did not appreciate it. He did not agree with it, and I fully support him on that. DMCAing and false DMCAs are just completely wrong. 5 Ways to Sunday, there is no reason for a false DMCA claim like that. But what happens in response to this almost immediately? You get people coming back, and in particular, you get no less than Zoe Quinn coming back to TotalBiscuit saying, real glad there's parasitic YouTube personalities contributing to and signal boosting a harassment campaign from men's rights activists spewing gossip as gospel. Okay, go back and listen to that again. Read it again. He isn't spewing any of that information out. He did not say any of that was fact. He said, if she did this, then I condemn it. If she did this, it was wrong. If they're doing this, it is wrong. These people are taking what others are saying, turning it to fit their narrative, and to make everyone else seem like horrible human beings. That's exactly what happened with TotalBiscuit here. And I find his response is very hilarious, where he said, funny how you were totally fine with me when I was promoting your game for free, which is the reason why the internet's idea of social justice is something I wasn't a part of. Justice through lies and abuse, not justice. Those interested in social justice today have called me a misogynist, thug, a Nazi, and a variety of other interesting lies. That's exactly what's happening. A lot of these people out there are getting lied about. They're taking things that people were saying and turning it out of context. Just like I said about Internet Aristocrats video, where Nathan and the editor of Kotaku coming back and saying, oh no, we never made a review of it, so he's just talking out of his ass. He should have done more research. He didn't say review. He said positive articles, positive pieces in relation to the game. And then not even the people from here in my home state of Arkansas are free of it, such as Boogie. I'm not even a fan of Boogie. I'm not even a fan of him. But what is one of the things that social justice warriors hate? And that is fat shaming. That is fat shaming. He came out and he said his piece about Zoe Quinn and game journalism. He said his piece about the gaming journalists coming out and saying gamers are dead, gamers are over, there's no such thing, don't even label yourself as a gamer because it's a horrible, horrible thing. But what is he getting out of that? He's getting fat shamed. He's really getting fat shamed. And I love one of the posts, or one of the tweets he's got here. I'm experiencing the unique privilege of being fat shamed by some self-proclaimed social justice advocates. To be fair and balanced, though, I have also been harassed by a lot of people who claim to be men's rights activists as well. Fuck them too. He is getting attacked by social justice warriors on both sides, men's rights activists and social and feminists and fat rights activists, or whatever you want to call them. He's being attacked on all sides for having an opinion that differs from the social justice warriors. This is a huge contradiction. They complain once again about the harassment they get for daring to raise a remark or daring trying to question the status quo against the misogynist and men's club. Oh, the men's club of gaming. But whenever we raise questions or anyone says anything in negative or in contrary to what they're saying or their narrative or what they're trying to sell, this is what happens. They get attacked as a misogynist. I can almost assure you when this gets out there, this video, if it gets more than my normal 1,000 to 2,000 views, if this gets higher views than that, there will be posts on Twitter, there will be posts on Tumblr, there will be posts everywhere, people calling me a misogynist, a woman hater, a scumbag, an enablist, and all sorts of things, that I'm triggering people, that my video probably caused someone to commit suicide because I triggered them with the words I said. Here's the thing, I'm not a misogynist, I'm not a sexist, I'm not racist. I also am a humanist. I go by the idea that there is a definition for everything, and a feminist. A definition of a feminist is someone who sees that there are equal rights for men and women. That women have equal rights to everyone else. And I agree with that. I agree. Women should have equal rights to men. So you can label me as a feminist, but not these modern day feminine evangelists that are out there right now that are just selling shit left and right, that are just talking out of their asses. Now, one of the worst, and this is where I'm going to end off, going by, oh, no, okay, Ken, everything you pointed out, not one of these included death threats, not one of these included something that would promote violence, that would have made them just like they labeled us as the ISIS members, the terrorists of the gaming community, which is what terrorism is. It's threats of violence for political gain. That's what terrorism is. So, as was said in that article on Badass Press, or whatever it was called, let's label terrorism what it is terrorism. Let me show you a couple of more tweets right here. And this is, I'll give a full definition of this. And what I want you to point you as right is right here. If you can get home address for scumfucks, my knife is awfully lonely lately. Just look at that. That is a threat of death. That is a violence threat. That is a death threat against somebody. Now, let me give you full context of what's happening here. These list of Tumblr or of Twitters, this Twitter feed is in relation to what started off Yes All Women Jokes thing that was going on a little while back on June 16th. This is back from June 16th when the Yes All Women Jokes thing was out there and huge. And social justice warriors were angry about it. Where they were talking about how someone posted Yes All Women Jokes exist because nothing should be off limits with regards to comedy. Yes All Women should understand that. To where someone came back and said, you are so off. Rape is never funny. Which I agree, rape isn't funny. I've made the jokes before and I apologize for. I've made a couple of rape jokes in the past and I apologize for profusely because even I realize the rape isn't funny. You are supporting a rape culture. Hashtag yes all women. But then this person, Red Zoss, comes back and says, he's not. Comedian's job is to find where the line is and purposely cross it, no matter how far it may be. To which a certain person by the name of Tactical Tony Knights, our edge-crushing board, post a picture. You should probably lock your Facebook. Now, what we have here is Red Zoss is a 10-year-old kid on the internet. And you have social justice warriors who are supposed to be these peace-loving, friendly people out there. They're the hippies of the internet, if you will, skipping through a field of flowers, skipping around saying, oh, look at how wonderful we are. No, these are the same people who are making a death threat against a 10-year-old. Where someone comes and says, oh my god, I almost feel bad capping on a 10-year-old. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. And then when someone comes back, Trick9 comes back and says, oh, has baby's line been crossed? And Red Zoss comes back, yep, and I don't mind it all that much. In the end, these images will be buried deep into the internet where no one will care. So at the end of this, a 10-year-old is being more mature than the social justice warriors out there who are supposed to be the mentality of the internet, the sense of reason on the internet. This is what the social justice warriors are supposed to be. They are supposed to be the ones who are speaking for justice and protecting people's rights and people's freedoms. But the 10-year-old is being more mature about it than they are, and this Trick 9 comes back and says, I guess someone needs to make you fear for your physical safety then. So yet another death threat against this kid. Another threat of violence against a 10-year-old kid because they disagreed with him. Because they disagreed with something that the social justice warriors were trying to put out for their agenda. To try to prove that all these men are evil, cis shit, scumbags, misogynists, woman haters. And let me remind you, misogyny is not speaking out against particular women. Misogyny is not speaking out against Anita Sarkeesian. Misogyny is not saying that her falsifying video footage from Hitman, falsifying video footage from Hitman to make it fit her narrative of the game being misogynistic and the women being placed in that game just for you to have a plaything, a sexual plaything to kill and drag around however you want. That is not misogyny when you point that kind of stuff out. That is criticism. That is constructive. That is breaking it down and doing your research and journalism, as it were. Legitimate journalism. That's not misogyny. Misogyny is a abhorrent hatred or mistrust of women in general. The people who are doing this do not mistrust or hate women. They are just pointing out flaws that they're seeing. Now, am I saying that there is no misogyny and no sexism in video games or the video game industry or the video game community? No, I'm not saying that, because it does exist. It does. But people are so focused on this bullshit that is not misogyny that they're missing the big stuff. This stuff like hashtag #IStandWithJonTron. Someone who wasn't being an ableist, someone who wasn't being sexist, someone who was just stating his opinion. They're focusing on this kind of stuff. They're putting out their hatred for people for having a differing opinion while saying that you are not allowed to have a differing opinion on us, and if you do, don't you dare say anything about it, or else you're harassing me and you're a misogynist. But no, when you have a different opinion than me, I am more than willing and free to do so, because I am a social justice warrior and what I do is right, because and not you. They're focusing on this stuff that they shouldn't be focusing on, and no one says it better than a person on Tumblr by the name of Macon. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the first paragraph and put a post or a link in the description of this video. Feminists and social justice bloggers, I like to consider myself among you and part of your movement. But when things like #IStandWithJonTron is instigated and perpetuated by members of our movement, and not a single one of you steps up to talk about it, about how it's completely messed up or try to rectify it, I start to wonder what I'm doing hanging around with you guys.